I'm Jamie Buckland with the West Virginia FUE, Families United for Education. I am talking today with urvi.morrison with Great Minds. We're going to hear more about Great Minds and how they are looking to serve families who are taking charge of their child's education. So Urvi, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about how you got started with Great Minds.
Great. Thank you, Jamie. I really appreciate you having me here today. My name is urvi.morrison. I'm the head of school at Great Minds Virtual. We're so excited to announce that our school is launching and opening in the fall of 22, so just a few short months away. We're looking to enroll our first set of students for our 6th grade class when we open in the fall. And what we're really excited about, I think what families have seen, what educators have seen, both pre-pandemic and now post-pandemic, is that there is a real need for some flexibility in education around working from home and learning from home. And that's why really we've launched this virtual school to give families the option to have a high quality education that can be done from anywhere in the country and is synchronous with high quality teachers.
I love that. Now, you mentioned 6th grade. So tell us a little bit about who you are going to serve. Who is Great Minds going to serve?
So Great Minds Virtual is going to be a 6 through 12 school. And in our first year, we'll start with 6th grade. So we're going to start small and then we're going to build a grade from here on upward every year. So we'll become eventually 6 through 12.
Wonderful. And what about tuition? Because when we start talking about a private online school, I have looked at the tuition cost for that. So what would the price tag be attached to Great Minds?
We are so excited to say that part of our mission and our vision for Great Minds Virtual is we want to give accessibility to all people across the country that want, again, this high quality schooling for their students. And so we have no tuition. We've worked really hard to ensure that we are completely free for anybody that wants to attend our school. That also includes our curriculum materials. Before every term at our school, we send home a whole kit of resources for all of their subject areas for that hands-on work that we know and believe that middle school students should get to experience. And we also have, for families that might need a little support around technology, we do offer technology scholarships. So family would simply need to let us know. We have a short application, and then from that, we will be able to send home a laptop or whatever other technology the family might need to support virtual learning at home.
So if I'm interested in this, because I do have a daughter who's going into 5th grade this year, so we're not ready this year, but coming up for the next year, if we wanted to do
Yes.
this, what would that admissions process look like? How do we get started? And
Mhm.
what is going to be expected of me as the parent or the guardian at home?
When you look on our website, you'll see our link to our admission section of our website, which outlines an admission process that looks very consistent with most independent schools in the country, in that we want it to be very family friendly and student friendly. Our whole goal is to learn about the family and the students' needs, and then for the family to learn about the school and what we're able to provide for their child. So the first step is a family could go on our website and fill out a very short questionnaire that basically an email over to me and my admission team. Once we receive that, we contact the family and set up a Zoom conversation. And in that, we get to learn a little bit about what the guardians of the child are looking for. We share about our school. And at that point, next step is that we give them a formal application link if there feels like there's a good fit between the family and the school. The family can fill out their application, and then they're formally in our application admission process. At that point, we review the information. It includes transcript data, some teacher recommendations. So we get a great deal of helpful data to make good decisions. And then our next step is that we have a little meeting with the student also on Zoom with the family, because of course we want to know who our students are going to be and hear what they're excited about and interested in a virtual education. And from that meeting, we make a final decision as an admission team in order to best support all our students. We go through that thorough process, and then we let families know what the final decision is and send home a little exciting admission package as well, so they have an unveiling of our decision. And that can take roughly 2 to 4 weeks. It really depends on the family's timeline and what kind of information that we are needing to make that decision.
So I know that there is potential for even families who want to come together with a learning pod or a
Mm.
micro school. They could possibly come together if they're going to meet at a church or meet even in their
Mhm.
home and everybody get on for their lessons. What is the day going to look like as far, because this isn't just going to serve East Coast students or West Coast students. So what is that going to look like for the students when they're logging on and they're planning their day?
Worked really hard about this time zone piece because this is an interesting challenge and opportunity for our school. So right now we're looking at having roughly 3 sections of our 6th grade class broken out by time zone. So that way we'll be able to have students learning at reasonable hours and our teachers teaching when it's most appropriate. So I'll give an example of our day-to-day schedule, maybe looking at our East Coast schedule. So our students would start class roughly at 8:30. Every morning, our students come to advisory, so kind of like a homeroom, if similar to an in-person setting, where they have about 6 to 10 students per advisory, 2 advisors. And this is an opportunity for students to get to know each other, to socialize, build those relationships and connections, and also for them to learn some social emotional skills that we want really to help them get through their day, get through their life, essentially, that we know are going to build over time. And then we've got a few classes in the morning, so about 2 classes at 45 minutes each. And then we break for lunch. And our fun thing with lunch is that we know some families or in micro school situations or pods like to have lunch as a group in person. And so we have that flexibility where a child can log off Zoom and have lunch with the community they're in, or they have the option to jump into a Zoom cafeteria with their peers and they can have lunch with their peers and have that social time as well. After lunch, we've got 2 more periods again at 45 minutes apiece. And we close the day with another advisory. So we're really trying to help our students feel like they can come to their peers for questions, support, build those friendships. But again, that they have their teachers with quick access when they have questions or need anything additional. And our day will end in the early afternoon in terms of our synchronous learning. Our hope is with this asynchronous time in the afternoon, there's a few things that might happen. There might be an opportunity for students that have or need a little more challenge. They can meet with those teachers during office hours. Students that might need a little more support in a subject area can also meet with their teachers one-on-one or in small group. And it could also be an opportunity for families to do something else with their child after hours, or maybe the micropod or micro school or the pod is doing something. And so we're trying to build in these afternoon flexibility that we know, again, through the pandemic has really shown us that families value that extra time with their children, whether that's at home or doing extracurricular activities. So that's the model we're using right now.
Now, I will say I have had the pleasure of meeting Stephen from your team in person
Mhm.
and even getting to get on a Zoom call with Lauren, a fellow West Virginian from Great Minds. And I've just
Yes.
been so impressed with the passion that your team has for children and
Mhm.
for them to have access to quality education that really embraces that flexibility with the
Mhm.
online learning, partnered in with some community aspects, and then just
Mhm.
really cherishing the reality of that home based being with
Mhm.
their parents or their guardians at home and being able to work this in every day with consistency and stability. So I've been impressed with your team. I'm excited to share this with families. Where can we go to learn more about Great Minds?
Yes, we are so excited for families to reach out to us. They can find our website at greatmindsvirtual.org. And on the website, you have my contact information as well as my colleagues. Anyone can be reached out to, and we'll start the admission process or at least simply start to get some questions answered if folks have them. But either way, we're really excited to get to know your community, Jamie, and happy to support families in whatever way we can.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for talking with us today. I really appreciate it, Irvi.
Thank you, Jamie. We appreciate the time.